Hey guys, if you liked the video, make sure to like and subscribe. Appreciate you. Now let's get to it. Alright. What's up guys, Average Gamer signing on back with another video. Got another unscripted video for y'all, man. This is just a series where I kind of riff on topics that interest me, news that interest me. So for today, we're talking about Street Fighter 6. Everyone's enjoying the new patch, Akuma. Hooray, it's finally a Street Fighter game, guys. Akuma's in after a damn year. Now, but that's not what we're kind of talking about the former. Akuma's dope. We all know about that. I actually released a video recently where I played my placement matches with him, and he's very fun. Let me tell y'all that. Okay, I'm sure y'all already played him yourselves. Check out that video if that interests you. But today, what we're talking about is an interview that the heads of Street Fighter 6 recently had. I believe with Capcom TV. They kind of did this little thing. They gave us a little hint amidst all the advertising that they usually do on that little site. But they talked about the frequency of patches going forward. And I actually released a video on this same topic back months ago at this point. So check out that video if you want my full thoughts back then. But I essentially stand by everything I said in that video. I had some great conversations with some commenters. And essentially, my argument was one patch a year, kinda not great. You know, I was with that crowd. I didn't think one patch a year really did it. I think it did not help player retention. I didn't think it helped the general health, I guess, of the game, for lack of a better phrase. But they told us, hey, they didn't give like a precise number, granted, but they said, hey, more patches going forward. And I think this is absolutely great. Granted, I don't want them to go absurd. Okay, I want to keep some kind of metagame intact, but more than one patch a year, definitely the right direction in my opinion. Like I said, I talked about this before a couple months back, and don't get me wrong, first version, arcade version, essentially Street Fighter 6, I understood the logic of one patch a year. Hey, you want to get as much data as possible, get as much info as possible regarding our characters, not to mention just give the metagame in general time to develop, see what players can come up with. Definitely understand that. Got no problem with that. But this ain't the 90s, this ain't the early 2000s. Let's keep it, but it does not take the community years to figure out certain things. You know what I'm saying? Like, with the amount of technology that we have now, we essentially figured out this game for the most part. Let me stress that. Let me engage in some nuance here. For the most part, we figured out this game within like 6 months. And honestly, I think that's being conservative. I don't think it took a year to figure out that DJ did way too much damage. I don't think it took a year to realize that JP's conversions that deplete your drive read are simply far too strong. I didn't think it took a year to realize that Jin right kick is like beyond annoying. And you can kind of just do it on block whenever you want. I don't think it took a year to realize that crouch medium punch from JP was broken. I didn't think it took a year to realize that Luke's damage, specifically off crouch medium punch, was broken. Yeah. You guys get the point. I don't want to riff here. Oh, my character. I don't think it took a year to realize that Rashid looping level 2 over and over again was not good. Okay, I'm done. I had to throw my character in there. We ain't downplaying today, boys. But, yeah, I don't think it took that long to know that. And granted, there were some things that took time to develop. In particular, Honda was viewed as a complete piece of shit to start the game. Within 6 months, he's at the bottom of all tier lists. No one's really playing him. Chun-Li, don't get me wrong, the Japanese were ahead of the rest of the world. They were putting her top 3 back in like October. But now Chun-Li is seen as a top 5. I've even seen some people put her top 3. Blanca as well has gone through a lot of development, primarily through Mena RD. So he's viewed as a very good character. Where he was viewed as strong at the start, but damn near not as strong as he is now, in terms of general public perception. So, I definitely understand the whole one patch a year philosophy. But, what I think is possible is maintaining the quality of a patch like this, albeit there were some things in this patch that I thoroughly disagree with, and not to mention some shocking omissions, but to keep the quality of a one patch a year cycle while having some more quantity. I think 3 patches a year should like be the thing. I think every 4 months we just tackle. Now, granted, let me say this first. Assuming that they keep doing what they've been doing and having a DLC season run a year, because that's another thing that a lot of people got mad about. The DLC season was essentially a year, and there was a lot of time between each DLC coming out, which I wasn't that upset about because none of the DLCs besides Rashid and Akuma interest me. But to each their own. I definitely understand why that would be frustrating. But assuming they keep that year cycle in terms of a DLC season, I think having 3 patches a year is probably the way to go. You have your big patch to start a new season. New season, hey, come on, come back guys, we've got new stuff, right? And then within that season, you have 2 patches. Not as big. We don't want to change up the game major, not as big. But small patches that tackle things that we know are problems. Things that we don't have to wait on. We don't have to wait another year to see, oh, maybe the player base can adapt to DJ damage. We don't have to. That didn't require that, okay? We didn't need that. Oh, maybe Rashid's level 2 might not be as good. No, it's broken. No. He shouldn't be allowed to loop it over and over. He shouldn't be allowed to game meter. Which they did change, mind you. Perfect change. Now, I think another piece of this, and this was also a core of my argument back when I talked about this months ago, this also helps player retention, just people being engaged with the game in general. Don't get me wrong, I get the whole, you know, you boot up a game, you know what to expect. You're used to it. You don't like change. However, as the case with many games, people get bored, man. Playing the same thing over and over again gets kind of tiring. And as we saw with this patch, mind you, patches, big balance patches, they're marketing events nowadays. Devs, companies, they use them to bring players back who may have fallen off the train. Hell, take someone like me. I haven't played Street Fighter. Well, I played Street Fighter yesterday, but before the patch, I think I took like a 2-3 month break from Street Fighter. I got my Rashid almost to master. I think I'm Diamond 5 or something. And I was like, I'm getting kind of tired, you know? Not to mention Tekken came out, which, that's Tekken, you know what I'm saying? But regardless, I kind of got off. This patch was great. Got one of my favorite characters that I haven't played since Street Fighter 4. Got some changes with Ken and Rashid. I'm cool. You know what I'm saying? And I'm probably going to release more videos in the future. So these are marketing events as well. So I think that also helps the health of the game. If you're, granted, not constantly, but every 4 or so months, 4 to 6 months, just adding little changes here and there. You know what I'm saying? I think that's for the best. So I definitely agree with this change. I'm glad that they experimented with this 1-year cycle. I do think overall the game was in a pretty good spot. It had their annoying moments, but overall I think the game was fine, especially for a first version. But going forward, I definitely think more patches is definitely the way. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. I had a lot of great conversations in my last video. Want to have even more great conversations in this one. Let me know what you think. You agree with more patches? You disagree? How many patches you think there should be a year? All that jazz. Looking forward to hearing y'all's thoughts. Like and subscribe if you guys enjoyed. Average Gamer signing off. I'll catch y'all next time.